take the full container on the dock here at the exchange distribution warehouse. We'll drop the full, pick up the empty. Once we get this all hooked up, the pre-trip will go right next door. There's a Marine Mart where we can pick up a second cup of coffee for 50 cents. Another reason I like this one better than any other. From the Marine Corps base back to the shipping terminal, and then we picked up a couple of full 45-foot containers full of furniture and brought it up here to the Naval Communication Base in Wahiba. To me, this is one of the coolest bases on the island, simply because it's one of the highest. The temperature up here is always like 10 degrees cooler than any place else on the island, especially at sea level. I mean, when it gets down to the 60s in most places, it's, you know, in the high 50s here. But the roads are very narrow. roof for the parking lot. They do have a bit of an albizia problem. All these tall trees are albizas. They're basically an invasive scrub tree. Very soft wood. Anytime there's heavy winds, they fall over or break off. And even though these trees are like 40, 50 feet high, they're probably just maybe 2 or 3 years old. Grow like a weed. The much better tree is the ones ahead of us here on the right. These are ironwoods. They grow very slow, really hard wood. They stabilize the ground really well. I don't know if that lasts. There's one more container coming up here, but I don't know if they allow anybody on the base after 2, and it's 2:20. We can shut it down. It's 4:04, 4:05. Man, unplug the fan, turn off the air conditioning, make sure the lights are off, turn off the engine. So we got the glasses. How these got inside here. All the IDs. Coffee cup. Pretty good day. We came in at 5. We'll be out of here by 4:15. We just picked up the dry containers for the cruise ship on Monday. So when they close the roads down Monday morning for the Aloha Tower, the Great Aloha Run, we'll be able to already have the containers here in our yard. That way we don't have to get onto Nimitz Highway. We can just hopefully get around it all and get down to the cruise ship. But we did, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movements. We drove 181 miles. So, pretty normal day. A little more mileage than normal. A normal mileage day is between 60 and 80 miles. So we did 100 miles over that. But that's because we went to the other side of the island twice, and then we went way out to Wahiawa twice. I didn't put away the glasses, I just put away the glass case. I was glad it's Friday. I think I work tomorrow with my brother doing some soccer up in Salt Lake. It's either tomorrow or next Saturday. I should find out before I mess it up. Other than that, we're off for the weekend. This is the cruise ship. I'll just leave that in the truck for now. But we're gonna head on home. My wife just called from Costco, so she's replenishing the kitchen supplies. I've been wanting to make some beans for quite a while now, so I know there's rice, so I'm just gonna make a batch of baked beans. It's not really baked beans though, it's just a goulash of beans. You can have it as a main course, or I usually just like it as a side to whatever I'm eating. This is one of the best places to learn to drive when you're a new driver, because we park the containers in tight, so there's just inches to spare, and so it's good practice. Because I tell people, if you can master this yard, you go out in the community, it's all cake. It's so easy. But this yard is really, really tight. And so if you're a new driver, it's a good learning place. But that is it for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry we didn't get the camera to work a little more often, but the weather was not lousy yesterday. It wouldn't have been that great. So just didn't feel like filming lousy weather and taking, you know, the camera out in the rain. The case is all busted up right now, so it's all taped together with electrical tape. I have one on order. It's coming, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. That's it for today, though. Thanks for watching. Aloha.